Okay, ladies, this is what I'm doing. These are new beds. This is the soil that I bought. It's got 3 cubic foot in each bag. And I don't know how many bags that I bought because the soil that is in this bed already came out of one of my original beds along with this one, but I've already added the 3 cubic feet. And then I have the seed cover and compost that I'm going to add right here. I'm going to add half a bag of this to each of these beds, new beds. Well, actually it'll go in all of the beds. And my handy dandy dirt carrying and everything else bucket. This blank area here, and it's a little dark, but goes up into here. This is where my tires for my tomatoes are gonna go. Plus I have a space over here that I might be able to put, if they don't all fit over here, I'll put one over there and maybe another pot or two. I do have a couple of empty pots back there. These are the pots that my strawberries will all be in. I got these from my father-in-law. I've got a couple of strawberry plants. There's 3 of them in there from last year. There was a 4th one, but it died last summer. This bed is also going to be filled in. I put wire underneath everything because we have the ground squirrels that burrow under. And this prevents them from being able to get up into my beds. Once I finish getting the other side on here and get it staked down, I'm putting this black fabric cloth in to line all my beds, and then I put cardboard on top of that, and then the soil goes in on top of that. As the cardboard breaks down, it creates more nutrients in the soil. This is currently, it's kind of a big bed here, it's a double, my asparagus bed. Some of my plants all need to be divided up and everything. And because there are a lot of gaps in here, I'm going to get this down, and it's going to go into this bed. This is the bed the soil came out of for the other beds over there. And as you can see, I'm getting started on lining it and everything. I will take the soil from my old tomato bed, which is a little bit deeper, add it to this bed here, and then that will also go, the soil from that will also go into the bed that I started over there with all the lining and everything. So I do still have a couple of onions from last season. That one is just about ready to pick. There's my mint plant that I still have, that I've had it for probably 3 or 4 years now. So I use a little bit from it every year, not a whole lot, but I knew to plant it in a planter like that instead of letting it grow in a bed, because it would spread and then I wouldn't have anything but mint in that plant. I got my my rolls of fabric cloth, Tractor Supply. They had them on clearance at the end of last season for $2.29, and I think I overbought a little bit because I still have 4 rolls here, and that roll there is my first roll, and I'm still not done with it. I might have enough on that one to finish doing this one, but that's okay. It'll go in storage and I'll have it for another use later on. I might put some inside my tires for my tomatoes too. But originally my garden was just that area right there, those beds there, and then I had a couple of the other plants that my strawberries are going in over here, and I had one back where the mint was, and then I had a couple of little pots in that pot holder there. But all of this, all of that is the expansion right there. It starts from right here where this butterfly light is, and it just goes all the way down here. And like I said, this is my other area here that I don't have 100% designated for anything to go in, but it could end up being where a tire is. My chickens are not allowed out here yet because there's no roof, and I don't want them getting out, and I don't want predators getting into them. They will be out soon. Yeah, there's my stack of soil and compost. Like I said, this will be the last year that I have to buy this stuff. I'll just be adding and doing the amendments. Show you my tires over here. They got painted yesterday for me. They got 4 of them painted. There's still one sitting there that needs paint. Got one here that started. And this one, Richard thought he'd be creative and do half blue and half purple, but he ran out of blue, so the whole thing's going to end up being purple. But that's okay. So my last 3 tires will be purple. And that's okay, because we're just using up paint that we had around here and getting rid of it. This is a squared dog cage, dog run. And this is actually what we're going to utilize to make a greenhouse out of this year, so that I can have my own place to start my own seedlings. So we still have the actual gate on it. I got to figure out how I'm going to enclose that also, so that there are not the gaps like here and here to help keep it warm at night and everything. I mean, it's not real tall, but it works. That's Richard's music equipment trailer. So, but yeah, this is my expansion here. Let me see how, yeah. This is my chicken moat. That gate you see there is my actual gate into my garden, the big one. And I can use it when I open up that. I can block off this end of the chicken run. There also is another gate there for the chicken run. And you can see a few of them. They're eating some weeds that I pulled this morning with all our rain we got over Thanksgiving and Christmas. We have had a lot of weeds. Lots and lots and lots of weeds. As far as the eye can see, weeds. So we are going to be picking weeds and feeding them. The gym we work at, getting rid of these tarps. They're changing to the round modules. And so they told me I could have as many of these as I want. These are ones that are already got tears or holes in them. So we used one to cover the expansion part in the back so that we could get the garden closed up and get busy working in it. And then I used one down here at this end to enclose it to help keep them warmer this winter. Not that we've had much of a winter. And then I have my sunscreens, the older ones we took off the house. I brought them out here, repurposed them, provides a little bit of shade since this is the south side of the chicken pen. But yeah, I've been pulling weeds back here. Not only do my chickens get that 5-gallon bucket full of weeds every day, but so do my goats and Danielle's goat. It's an old planter there that I need to disassemble. We're going to use those stones to make a nice fire pit in the backyard area. But yeah, it's a nice beautiful day here in sunny Arizona. So we're supposed to be in the upper 60s today. I had a jacket on, took it off already. As you can see, there it is. But the only bed that will not be utilized in my garden is this one. My brother made it for me and needs a little bit of work done to it. Oops, get the shadow there. As you can see, it's got a gap on this end, gaps and everything, so my husband needs to put it back together for me. But I don't want to put it in there because what's in my garden is going to stay here. I'm not moving it. So I want to make sure that I don't leave behind something that my brother made for me. Got my stash of tomato cages here. Got like 14 of them, but I'm only going to grow 7 tomato plants this year. See how that works for us. This corner here, I'm going to build, we're going to build a little shed with some of the scrap lumber and stuff that we've got around here, and use it to put the chipper, the tiller, the spreader, all those kind of tools and stuff in. I have an eclectic mix of pots here. If I need extra pots for anything, I've got them. Buckets. Still have 3 with some soil in them that will go into my raised beds. This pot is still in good shape. Around here the sun beats everything up that's plastic, so. But I will probably dump this into one of my raised beds also. And then if I need this to plant anything in, I'll have soil to put in it. This is my composting system right now. As you can see, my old basil plant sticking out of one. That barrel's about had it. It's got some good stuff in it though that will actually end up, can't see it. It will actually end up in one of my beds. It's not a lot in there, but there's some good stuff in there. The rest of these are working on it. So I need to take care of. Yeah, while I was working at the gin, Richard didn't collect eggs, so he had to come out and dump them all. So, but yeah, well, I gotta combine these all down and everything. And there again, another look at the side, this side of the with the tarp. And I just lined it. Those are my feed barrels with chicken feed. And I just can't see it real well, but I just lined that tarp down there. So we're supposed to be back in the 50s next week, so I am not taking it down. I have heat lamps, but Richard decided to bring one of his stage lamps out instead of finding one of my heat lamps when it got cold and we needed to put heat out for the chickens, and these things work. Let me tell you, those things put out a lot of heat. So I hope you enjoyed it, the tour, and I will keep you updated. Have a great day.